Yeah, like I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, I'm kind of excited for Nintendo Switch because I've been watching the Angry Video Game Nerd channel, and he talks about Nintendo so much, he had me thinking about it because I stopped playing Nintendo back in '96, and I played basically for like 18, 19 years straight in Nintendo and SNES, and I had the Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Super Game Boy. I had the Super Scope 6, and I just stopped playing Nintendo. I moved on to PlayStation and things like that. But 20 years later, they got the Nintendo Switch coming out, and I said, you know what, a good Mario Kart would be kind of cool to play on the go because, like I said, I had the PlayStation Vita. That thing's dead as dead can be, and I wasn't really too big on the 3DS, but this Nintendo Switch I kind of like. So we're gonna check out some first impressions of it, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts because I'm actually considering getting a Nintendo console. This would be the first time in 21 years by the time it comes out because it comes out March of 17. So it got me thinking about it because I like playing my Vita on the go. There's just not that many games to play, and I'm like, well, I could just play Nintendo on the go. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I would play it. It really depends on the price and things like that.
Review the trailer, and we're gonna give you our initial opinions on what we think.
You know what I really like about this reveal trailer is that instead of having Talking Head come up on stage and tell us a whole bunch of crap.
So, Bill, were you're a big Nintendo guy growing up, right? I think we all were.
Yeah, man, I love the the regular Nintendo, and then the Super Nintendo, and I always the Game Boy. The Game Boy was to me one of my favorite things, because going on field trips, having those long bus rides to them, it was always good to have Tetris and Super Mario Brothers and stuff like that to play. But yeah, man, I'm just excited, kind of out of curiosity, as how Nintendo is going to do this. So yeah, man, I loved Nintendo growing up. Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers. I didn't, however, unlike I didn't go as far as you did with the game systems. As far as with the I got the Game Boy and like I said, the Super Nintendo and stuff like that. But that was about all I got before I made my jump into the next kind of console. But yeah, man, I love Nintendo growing up. It was one of the first favorite Mario. And the Mario ringtone is still like two of my favorite things to have. Still going on. One of my favorite games all time is Super Mario Brothers.
I know, because it's like it's a childhood game, but it don't get old. It's a good challenge, and you still care about the characters, and it just really hits home for me, Mario, because that's where it all started for me. I played Atari just a little bit, but Super Mario Brothers, the NES, that's where it all started.
Oh yeah.
And I actually had the Nintendo 64 briefly, and then I sold it for some PlayStation 1 games at the time, and the Nintendo 64 was okay, but that was when I was pretty much just grew out of Nintendo. Now I'm having like a midlife crisis. I want to jump back in. Well, it's just Nintendo's awesome. I mean, it just depends on. Like Nintendo GameCube, that was okay, but I weren't really feeling it. I was into my PlayStation 2 at the time, and Nintendo Wii was all right. I had a couple of those, and I sold them. But with the Nintendo Switch, it's pretty much a handheld. You can carry it with you, so that's something I actually play. It's more practical to me, more so than the 3DS in a lot of ways. It's interesting. It's going to be an interesting console, I think. And by the way, the only thing that irritates me about the NES Classic Edition, the NES Mini, it doesn't have Tetris on it. Tetris was my favorite Game Boy game and NES game. I'm a big Tetris fan. EA Sports released Tetris on PlayStation a few times. Why the fuck wasn't Tetris on the NES Mini? That's why I didn't buy it, man. If you're going to put the top 30 games on it, where the fuck is Tetris?
Oh yeah.
When I heard that, I was like, fuck man for that. But it's all good. I mean, it's a nice introductory level, but let's get back to some of these Nintendo Switch impressions here.
and the music too. But it was cool because
From the dorkiest people in the world, but hey, they're pretty good. They're on point with it. They love Nintendo.
so much was said, even though they didn't say anything at all.
You were saying it's kind of like an Apple iPhone commercial. They're trying
Yeah.
they're trying to make it so like hip, you know,
Yeah, it's like an LG phone or like Samsung or whatever.
because when you think of
So they're talking about the premiere trailer of the Nintendo Switch. I know I'm kind of late to the game, but I just got interest into the Switch. I was like, when I first heard of the Switch, I was like, nah, it looks cool, but I'll pass. I got enough gaming. But then I started thinking about it, and I was like, well, wouldn't be a bad idea to have to carry it to work and whatnot, and replace the Vita with it. In other words, it'd be my new Vita.
Nintendo games,
Play some Mario Kart.
think of like just a dude sitting there playing Nintendo. You
Yeah.
don't think of like people like on the go playing basketball at the airport and whatever. They went for that aspect of like, hey, this is the cool thing. But what they were really trying to put over was that you can play it at home as a console, and you can play it on the go. You can play it on a train. You can play it on a rooftop. You can play it anywhere, and that's the main point they're trying to drive home. Now, I'm making fun of the commercial a little bit because it is a little corny, but I think it does look cool.
What I liked about it, just flat out, is this is the first Nintendo gimmick in a decade that actually has something to do with freaking video games. And that's that the controllers detach from what looks like a tablet, and they're available for both single player and for multiplayer.
Well, one of my first thoughts with the console is, you know, how the controllers detach and everything. I don't know how those controllers are actually going to be if you actually play them. I'm a little worried that they're going to be not the best. What are the big games that are going to be? Obviously, Zelda is the big one they highlight, and there's going to be, you know, Mario Kart, Smash Brothers. It's always, you know,
Right.
they got their big couple games.
And see, yeah, I like Smash Brothers. I played that on the GameCube and the Wii a little bit. My brother has my kid brother is a big Nintendo guy, like I was when I was his age. But I like Smash Brothers. It's a pretty good fighting game. And yeah, I mean that Mario Kart, Super Smash Brothers, even Zelda, I would play those. You know, 'cause I know Zelda would be pretty good, even though I'm not sure if Link's a male or female sometimes, but I'm pretty sure it'd be a good adventure game.
The Mario game. What happens when Smash Brothers comes out?
The only thing is, I want a 2D Mario. Like on the Wii, we had Super Mario Brothers Wii and Super Mario Brothers Wii U. I beat Super Mario Brothers Wii on my brother's system. That was a 2D Mario, and I'm like, I want a 2D Mario game back with the modern graphics like they did on the Wii, because that was pretty fun. The 3D Mario, the Mario 64, I wasn't feeling it too much, but maybe they'll come out with a side-scroller Mario or have the virtual console on there. I hope so, because if it has the virtual console and online play, I'll probably get it, you know, depending on the price.
For Smash Brothers
That
player.
too.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that was my major reason why I turned off from Nintendo after the Super Nintendo and stuff, because the 64, I'm like you, dude. I'm more of a 2D person, and to have it going 3D, I wasn't feeling the whole 3D thing. I mean, I know it's fine now because we're in a generation to do it, but
Right.
now, dude, when I saw it at the old Walmart when it was out, I'm like, I don't want to play this. I don't like it. I tried to play it. I wasn't a fan of it, and I never went on into the 64, so that was my main reason. But just like you, dude, I'm more of a 2D person when it comes to Mario. Some games are just better, 2D.
They brought it back 2D, like I said, on the Wii and the Wii U, but I just hope that they keep it that way. At least give us one that's 2D, because it's kind of like Little Big Planet with Sackboy. That's a 2D platformer, and I really enjoy it. That was my favorite game on the PlayStation, and because it reminded me of Mario a lot. So yeah, absolutely. And Mario Kart is really fun as well, and Super Smash Brothers is 2D, but it's 3D, but you fight 2D. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I wasn't too big on the 64 that much. I liked the Wave Race and Doom, and Killer Instinct was okay, but Mortal Kombat played pretty good on it. Games like that, but that's when I just kind of phased out with it. But like I said, with the Switch, it's a portable, so if it has it's supposed to get a lot of third-party support too. So it really just depends on the price and things like that. I want to try it before I buy it, and I played my brother's 3DS on the go a few times, and I was like, well, it's okay, but the graphics are kind of kind of like really old quality looking, but the Switch is a little different. I mean, if I don't like it, I can always return it. But I think I would actually play it on like at work on the go and things like that. It just depends, you know. I kind of miss Nintendo. I mean, I've been with Sony for 20 years. That's all I played was Sony mostly. And, you know, and I'm like, well, you know, I did grow up with Nintendo. Might go back to my first wife, you know.
Yeah.
Fuck both of them.
They can still do the GameCube controller attachment if they want to do that.
I think that the cool things they showed is they showed that the first party support is definitely there.
Oh, absolutely.
You see, you know, Zelda Breath of the Wild. We see a unknown Mario title. We see Splatoon in some form. We see the type of stuff you want from Nintendo for a solid launch. But in addition to that, and the craziest thing is we see Bethesda's Skyrim.
I didn't see a Metroid in there.
Yeah, well, you didn't. You didn't see an F-Zero either,
Yeah.
Nintendo. What's really cool about that?
And ladies and gentlemen, I don't really care for Skyrim. I mean, that game's a few years old, and I'm not too much into open world RPGs. I try to play them, but they put me to sleep. And it's not for sophisticated people. I play more action adventure people that are witty. You know, it's like the witty versus the sophisticated. I'm like, I'm not going to read a bunch of text. I'll go to sleep. No, I tried though. I honestly tried to play that game, Skyrim. I don't care enough about the story to invest in it. All that fantasy crap. I like certain fantasy crap, obviously. Princess Peach, for example. But, you know, Zelda. But I like Zelda. But I don't, you know, I'm just not feeling no Skyrim.
It was like the biggest cover-up in game history. Did you hear anything about
They
it?
always have the
What? Yeah, they kept that Nintendo Switch kind of quiet there. They're pretty good about keeping things quiet. And
the alternate name. You know, it was like the Dolphin for the GameCube, and it was, you know, they always have the different name, and then
they had different names. They had in Nintendo 64 was the Ultra 64. He forgot to mention that. So they had the Ultra 64, the Dolphin, and I think that's all I remember. Oh, Nintendo NX, aka Nintendo Switch.
then they reveal the real name. So they've been doing that since forever. The thing that people are saying about this console and what people have been saying is that, okay, it's just the Wii U that's portable. And that's what people are saying. But this console is much more powerful than a Wii U.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing I saw is when that Nintendo video went live, NVIDIA also released a press release. Now, the Xbox One and the PS4 both use AMD graphics cards and x86 processor from AMD, that kind of thing. But NVIDIA announced that it's going to use a Tegra-based custom chip. So what does that mean?
Custom for the Switch?
Custom for the Switch. So what does that mean? There were really two candidate chips that the Switch could have had, and that was the Tegra X1, which is about a quarter of the power of a PS4 or Xbox One, and then there's the Tegra X2, which is much newer,
but it's neither one of these. It's custom,
which is like 80%. So the question is what does custom mean? Are we going to get something in between the X1 and X2? Are we going to get something better? Is it going to be an X2 that has the automotive things removed from it? What are we gonna get? And I think that really defines what the system's going to be capable of. Because we're getting something better than the X2, even marginally better. We're getting something that's within 10 or 20% of the power of the big consoles that we have now. Combine that with the 3DS's third-party support and Nintendo's, focus on quality controllers and things.
I mean, listen,
it'll be good.
The thing is, does it matter? We know that this system is going to be able to play a Mario game, a Smash Brothers game, a Zelda game. It's like that's what people go to play Nintendo for. It's going to be able to play other games too, but like as long as it can play their big, heavy hitting games, which it'll obviously be able to do.
Yeah.
That's the ones I care about, and it being portable. Because if it wasn't portable, I wouldn't buy it. Because I don't like having a lot of consoles in my house. I'm just that type of person. I like a lot of space, but since it's portable, that's what really struck my interest there. With it, and
Right.
Right. But let me see.
First comes out, and it's
What's
still
that?
not open world. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy how long this is taking. We're finally getting it extremely late. So
They're talking about a
Nintendo is
Zelda
extremely,
open world.
extremely late to the game.
But I always thought Zelda was kind of open world anyway, especially the original Zelda, because you're always walking and exploring. Zelda 2, it's a side scroller, but you're walking through towns and you're talking to people a little bit, and it's not that bad, but just hard as fuck. I wasn't a big Zelda 2 fan, but anyway, yeah, it just depends really, Bill, on the reviews and it being portable and the price. I might give it a go, man, and just have me play Nintendo at work and play PlayStation when I'm at home. I really wish. I know they're not going to do this. It'd be so nice if Nintendo came out with like Nintendo achievements, trophies. That would be really cool. Because I play the fuck out of Smash Brothers and Mario Kart.
Yeah, that's true, man. It would kind of give you an incentive to want to play more. And that's the thing with me is they've got to do. That's what really PlayStation has done with their trophies or achievements, stuff like that. And it has made you.
That's what got us hooked. Because like by the end of the PS2 era, I was kind of growing out of games, I guess you could say. And trophies brought me back. I was like, okay, I kind of like collecting trophies. And I became the trophy hunter and been collecting trophies ever since. I just got to buy some new games and all that. That's another problem. It's so hard to keep up with buying all these new games because, as you know, Bill, we both work for a living. We have all these bills we have to pay. And it's hard to get to sit down and buy us a toy and things like that when we want to get it. So that's another obstacle I have to face when trying to get another console. But I did get the Vita, and I did okay with the Vita. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's just I've been watching a lot of the nerd channel of Angry Nerd with the Nintendo videos, and it's kind of brought me back to my Nintendo days, reminiscing. Nintendo Power Magazine, all that good stuff. Punch Out, all them NES classics. Zelda was in the gold case, gold cartridge. All them little things,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, if you could play Super Smash Brothers online, oh man, that'd be kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. But see, I would never play a Street Fighter V on Nintendo because I want to collect the trophies on my PlayStation account. So I would never get like a PlayStation game for it, third party game like that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, man. I'm kind of excited about it a little bit. It's the Mario. Anyway, so that's our video. Should we buy the Nintendo Switch? What do you guys think? Leave us some comments below. Subscribe. If not, thanks for watching anyway. I'm Brandon, and that is Bill.
Yes, indeed.
And catch you next time. Back to the cave.